And we are back. Let's talk about the final 2 nights of the New Beginning in Hiroshima.
Right. No, this is the final 2 nights of the New Beginning.
That's what I said.
No, you said New Begins in Hiroshima. The final 2 nights of the New Beginnings in Hiroshima is actually the final 2 nights of the New Beginning series, which happened to take place in Hiroshima.
Jesus. Anyways,
so let's talk about this
Peanut Gallery's
bombshell.
Peanut Gallery's stressful. So, we started with
They said, let's talk about this bombshell.
Wow, okay. So, that's what happens when we become demonetized.
And we're censored in Japan.
Hooray. So, it was Yota, Tsuji, Gabriel Kidd, and Yuji Urima, which I butchered immensely, but whatever, versus Minoru Suzuki, El Desperado, and Yoshinobu Kanemaru.
I mean, whenever you got Minoru Suzuki in a match, you know you're going to lose, so why even bother?
Right, he probably did. So, I think it was Yota open hand bitch slapped Suzuki, and I'm like, oh, this kid is done.
Yeah, he's done.
So Minoru Suzuki, followed that up with beating him to death.
Yep.
Dragging the lifeless corpse, and essentially pulling off his leg with a Boston Crab.
Mm-hmm.
Suzuki Gun. I thought it was kind of a fun little opener. And that slap, I'm like, oh, why did you done... This is what happens when you've done fucked up, okay?
Right.
It's just, when you slap Minoru Suzuki in the face, you're gonna have a bad time.
You're gonna have a bad day. Yep.
Yeah. So, Bushi versus Master Wato in a singles match.
It was an okay match.
Yeah. And it was a Weapon X for Bushi to win. I think Bushi needed the win more than Master Wato, especially because he was a former IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion.
Right.
We need to bring him back up to some kind of prominence.
Right.
Fun match. I liked it. I thought it was fine.
It was all right.
I liked it more than the first match. Let's put it that way.
Well, the first match was the sleeper, so...
Right.
There we go.
Then we have a 10-man tag, which I always hate 10-man tags. El Phantasmo, Taiji Ishimori, Evil, Yujiro Takahashi, and Jay White versus Kazuchika Okada, Tomohiro Ishii, Hirooki Goto, Toru Yano, and YOSHI-HASHI.
And it went about as you expected. It was chaos the whole time.
It was chaos, and I thought it was kind of fun. I liked it.
It was okay. I mean, who won that one?
It was a low blow from Toru Yano and a roll-up to win the match for Chaos.
That's right.
Right. I thought it was fun. I thought it was weirdly fun.
Right.
There was a little bit of fun with it. Because there were like rivalries in here, so at least there was
a lot of rivalries. It kind of reminded me of like a Survivor Series-esque match.
Right, exactly. So that's kind of why I thought I think that's why I enjoyed the match a little bit more, because there was a lot of actually like intense rivalries
going in. I mean, the big ones that stand out are Evil and Kazuchika Okada.
Right. And then obviously with the 6-man tag.
Right.
And then you had, El Phantasmo and Taiji Ishimori are there because they need to be on the card somewhere, I guess.
Right.
Next match. Tetsuya Naito and SANADA versus Kota Ibushi and Tomoaki Honma. And it was a destino for Tetsuya Naito to pick up the pin.
Right.
And I thought this match was very good. I liked this match.
Honma that
he ate the pin, yes.
He ate the pin, right.
You think fucking Kota Ibushi is going to take a pin right now? Are you kidding?
I'm pretty sure that was Honma that took the pin on that one.
Yeah,
it was kind of random, but it was there.
Right. I liked it. I thought it was a fun match.
Yeah.
Gorillas of Destiny versus the Dangerous Techers for the IWGP Tag Team Champions. I loved this match.
This was a good match.
Not only physically it was a good match, but there was a great story going into it as well.
I think this was my favorite storyline going into it.
Right. There was some comedy, but it was nice and tasteful. And obvious, and it was actually a DQ.
It was, because
the main story here was that Tama Tonga stole the Iron Glove from Taichi, who it was held by a retired wrestler. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, who always wore the Iron Glove.
So that was very intriguing.
So Taichi turned like total crazy psycho when he got the glove back and like hit everybody with it. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I liked the ending. I liked the match itself. I thought everybody played their part well. I love how Tama Tonga can talk trash in Japanese, even though he's Samoan. So I can always...
Tongan. Different. It's different.
Whatever. Anyway, well, this is what happens when you're a straight white male, right?
Right.
Anyway, who has fucking Donald Trump as his fucking avatar. Also, follow me on Twitter and Instagram. It is at Tiger Height, but it is Tiger Trump. So,
it is.
Hiromu Takahashi and Sho face each other for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. So, at this point, Sho is a main event singles competitor. This match was unbelievably great.
It was.
And Hiromu Takahashi won with Time Bomb 2.
Right.
But nobody looked weak.
No.
Sho looked awesome. Obviously, Hiromu is great. But there was the attack after the match from El Phantasmo expressing his interest. Bushi came out. They're like, hey, why don't you put those junior heavyweight tag team champions on the line? And that will happen at one of the roads to Castle Attack. Yes, that is not one of the Castle Attack matches for some reason, but we will be covering that show.
Right. So, anyways,
it was a really good match overall.
Let's talk about night one really quick. Match of the night and star rating.
I'm going to give the star rating a 3.
Okay.
A solid 3. And I'm going to give the match of the night to Hiromu and Sho.
I would do the same exact thing.
Really?
3, Hiromu and Sho.
Yep.
Very closely behind
Gorillas of Destiny, Dangerous Techers. Yep. Right. The one thing I really liked the one thing that put it over is that they built a new star in Sho.
They did, yes.
So that's kind of why I put that slightly over.
Right.
Anyway.
Night
2. So it's Yota, Tsuji, Gabriel Kidd, and Uemura. I butchered that once again. I think I did worse the second time.
You did.
We're just going to roll with it. Versus Taiji, Zack Sabre Jr., and Doki. And it was a crazy cross arm breaker move by Zack Sabre Jr. to win.
Yep.
And it was just your standard opening match. No crap.
Young Lions losing to the big guys.
Right, but they showed their skills. I thought they were fine. There's the potential there for all of them. They're all very good.
They are.
But obviously the Young Lions lose.
Right.
Anyway.
Young Lions always lose.
Right. Well, except if they have like a veteran with them, like Tiger Mask or something, then they have a chance. Minoru Suzuki, El Desperado, and Yoshinobu Kanemaru versus Tomoaki Honma, Master Wato, and Sho. I did like this match.
It was alright.
I mean, the whole thing was Minoru. I just want somebody to like piss off Minoru, so if they don't, I get...
That's just the standard at this point. It's just like, someone's got to piss off Minoru Suzuki.
Even though he's like, for some reason, so I found this kind of interesting. Follow Minoru Suzuki on Instagram. He's really funny. But he is a sock collector. He has like a ton of socks.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yes. Also, he wears like fedoras, but it's like who's gonna say anything? It's Minoru Suzuki.
Minoru Suzuki does what he wants.
He will legitimately eat you. Anyway, I thought the match was fun. I liked it. It was fine, but it was a roll up for Master Wato, Tomoaki Honma, and Sho to win, which I thought was interesting. Anyway. El Phantasmo and Taiji Ishimori and Yujiro Takahashi versus Bushi, Hiromu, and Tetsuya Naito.
I forgot how many fucking tag team matches were on this show.
Yeah, welcome to New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Mick!
They're probably going to copyright it because I said their name. Assholes. Anyway, so it was another Destino for LIJ to win. I thought
Destino. Sorry, you have to call it Destino. It's not Destino, it's Destino.
Yes, and Bush, and so yes, LIJ won. I liked the match. I thought it was good, and obviously there was some rivalries.
Yes,
and obviously a big rivalry with all the titles involved in one way, shape, form, and or color. So that is all well and good. Anyway. Moving forward, bitch. Anyway, let's talk about Evil and Dick Togo versus Kazuchika Okada and Toru Yano. It ended up as a double countout.
It was.
And Peanut Gallery's like, what the fuck are they doing? So then Okada attacks Evil, hits him in the back with a chair, challenges him to a singles match, baits him into it. So then we have Evil versus Kazuchika Okada. There we go.
Which needs to be a Wrestle Kingdom main event, even if it's not for a title. That is just that's just there.
And then Dick Togo comes out and attacks Okada for the DQ. I'm like, what the fuck is going on with all these DQs?
It's like they're saving it for another pay-per-view.
I understand, but
probably for Dominion.
I understand, but don't even bother until you're ready to do the match.
Right. They're just doing their thing.
Whatever. I thought they're
trying to bring some American flair.
Right. The second match was fine. I think they have great chemistry. Actually,
God. I could watch them wrestle a million times.
Right. That's why it was I think they should have a double title match, but whatever.
Whatever.
They took off the belts off of Evil too quickly.
Right.
Which I'll bitch about later. Anyway, for the never openweight 6-man tag team champions, this is where I lost Goldie.
You did.
I did. Tomohiro Ishii, Hirooki Goto, and YOSHI-HASHI versus Jay White and the Gorillas of Destiny. I loved this match.
It was a good match.
I am usually not a big fan of 6-man tags, but this one was awesome.
Well, because the titles were on the line.
Titles were on the line. I mean, once again, this is what wrestling is. No matter where you are, you have to have a story going into it.
There was a story.
Jay White attacks them, beats them all up. They want the never openweight 6-mans. I don't know why you want those as a consolation prize. You fucking main evented Wrestle Kingdom anyway.
That's probably why Stu lost.
Right. And obviously it was a actual roll up on one of the Tongans. I can't remember who it was.
Which was great because it didn't make anyone look weak.
Nobody looked weak. It was a great match, very physical. They paced it very nicely. I wasn't bored. Actually, you and I, Peanut Gallery and I, were like, "Wow, this show is going so fast." And then I realized it's a 2-hour-long show. I'm like, "Holy crap!" Anyway. Let's go to our big main event. Both belts, IWGP Heavyweight and Intercontinental Championships. Kota Ibushi defending against SANADA. This match was awesome.
This match was fucking amazing.
It was. So the only criticism that I want to give it is that I thought maybe they would have done a little more of a hard-hitting match.
Yeah.
It was very technical.
It was.
There was nothing wrong with that, but I kind of wanted a little more of
You expect a little more from a main event match.
Right. I want Kota Ibushi to go to that other place where he's like pissed off because it's like, he sells it great.
I
want to see that nice comeback.
I love that side of Kota. Anyways,
right. We never got that. It was a Kamagoye. Ishii. Ibushi retained, and then Tetsuya Naito came out and challenged Kota Ibushi for the Intercontinental Champion only.
Yeah.
And so NJPW made the announcement right after this show that these championships, even if they're still on Kota, will not be defended together.
Right.
Thank God they're not doing this together. I think what they wanted to do, they wanted Kota Ibushi to get this because they knew they screwed up.
Right.
They were worried. I think what happened was they were worried that Kota Ibushi was not the big draw that we know he is.
Right.
So they gave it to Naito because Naito is that guy, but because they had to make up for it from him winning G1 at the top of his height, whatever. And then now they did it. His first big defense against SANADA. And then now they're going to separate out the titles.
Right. Which is fine. That's fine.
I want that because Ibushi wanted the titles to be combined. I'm like, I don't want these titles to be combined.
And I think they were discussing that too, but then now you have the partnerships with AEW, and I think that kind of changed their minds. And then with Impact Wrestling too, you essentially quadrupled the roster
with these
partnership roster,
with these partnership agreements.
It's going to be good. Anyways,
so
that's kind of what we got. Star rating for the first star rating for night number 2.
So star rating for night number 2, and then my favorite match. I think you meant to say.
Yes.
I'm obviously going to give the match of the night to Ibushi and SANADA.
Yeah.
Very second close. It was very second close to the never open weight 6-man tag. And I'm going to give night number 2 a 3.5.
I was going to do the same thing. Exactly the same thing. 3.5 stars.
Yep.
Ibushi, SANADA.
Let's just say I've seen
Ibushi SANADA was a match of the whole pay-per-view.
Right.
And I give the whole thing a 3.5 stars.
I was going to give it a 3, and I'm going to give Ibushi and SANADA the general across the board. Yeah. Very close
It was a good New Japan pay-per-view. Obviously, it's not to the level of Wrestle Kingdom.
Right. Well, I've seen better.
I mean, it's a sleeper pay-per-view.
Right. And obviously, given the circumstances, they're trying to rebuild up the interest in the shows.
I do. My favorite part, though, is when they're doing a great job with rebuilding the junior heavyweight division.
Yes.
They're doing a fantastic job with that.
Especially because, oh my God, who can face Hiromu? Because really, he was a big one, but now you have I mean, you have Sho, you have El Phantasmo, you have Taiji Ishimori, you have Bushi. Let's just say there's definitely a diverse roster.
They're building it back up.
Yeah, and once we start getting people back to, back there, you can bring in people like your Chris Bays or Ace Austins. Exactly. You can bring in your even Sammy Guevara if he's not in the doghouse.
Sammy Guevara's going to be fine.
Yeah, he'll be fine. So anyway, when we come back, we're going to be talking about NXT TakeOver Vengeance Day.
Hooray.